Alright, still in the Math 1 book. We're on page 67. We're going to do numbers 1 through 15, and it just says find the product. One thing that we have to know when we are multiplying like this, let's say you have variables that you're multiplying, what you end up doing is you're just adding the exponents. So there is a rule that says if I multiply x to the m times x to the n, that equals x to the m plus n. In other words, you just add exponents when you multiply common bases. Okay? So we're going to have to remember that as we distribute in this case. So I'm taking this entire negative 8y cubed and I'm distributing it to each term, to each of the three terms in the parentheses there. So negative 8, what you're going to do is look at the coefficients first. Negative 8 times 2 gives me negative 16. Y to the third times y to the fourth. Remember, we're going to do 3 plus 4 in the exponents. So it's y to the seventh plus 8 times 5. And notice I just said 8 times 5 because I see the negatives. Negative 8 times negative 5 is going to give me a positive. That's why I sort of automatically put a plus sign there. So plus 40 y to the fifth, a negative sign times a positive, so I have negative 8 times 3, 8, 16, 24, so negative 24 y cubed. And there you have it. And since the exponents are already in order from greatest to least, this is actually your final answer. Okay? And number 2. It's essentially the same question, except now you have a binomial. And one method is to just consider this binomial and distribute the binomial into each term on the right. However, what most people end up doing is taking only the b and distribute the b through, and then after that you take the 3 and you're going to distribute the 3 through. The word distribute means that you have to take this and make sure that every term in this binomial is multiplied by every term in the trinomial. So anyway, that's what we're going to attempt to do. So we have 3b cubed minus 2b squared plus b. Okay? That is from following this. This is 3b cubed minus 2b squared, b times 1 plus b. Alright, and now I'm going to go to the next term, the 3. 3 times 3 gives me 9, so this ends up with 9b squared minus 6b, and then 3 times 1 is plus 3. Okay, and now this ends up being like the other problems that we had just done on page 61, I believe. Yes, when it says find the sum or difference. So this, now what we're going to look for are like terms, and I see that there's a negative 2b squared and a 9b squared, so I'm going to be adding those together. And then I'm also looking at this positive b right here and the negative 6b. So I'm going to add those like terms. So 3b cubed, negative 2b squared, and 9b. Let's see, they have different signs, so I'm going to be subtracting. So that gives me 7b squared. Positive sign and a negative sign, so I'm subtracting. 6 and 1, 6 minus 1 is 5, so let's see, negative 5b and plus 3. And now the exponents are lined up from greatest to least already. So we can stop there and circle that answer. Okay? Okay, next question. We are multiplying two binomials together. And typically, what you hear people say is FOIL. And what they're saying is that you multiply the first numbers, then the outer numbers. So first and then the outer, and then the inner numbers, and the last. So it's just a method of distribution, really. FOIL. First terms, the outer terms, inner terms, and then the last terms. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and walk through that with you. 6 times 4 is 24W. Minus 18. But what I see is that I have a W here and a W here. And remember that there's an imaginary 1 exponent there. And an imaginary 1 exponent here. So what's 1 plus 1? It's going to give you 2. So negative 18 W squared minus 12. And then negative times a negative gives me plus 9W. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is try to line up I'm going to put this term first due to the fact that it has the highest exponent on the variable. So that's negative 18W squared. And then I'm looking at the 24W and the 9W. See, they look alike, so I can add those together. Those are like terms. So 24 plus 10 is 34. So 24 plus 9 is 33. 33W minus 12. And there you have it. It's your final answer. Your final answer is a quadratic there. The reason I say quadratic is because the variable is a 2 on the exponent. Alright. Number 4. I'm going to walk you through some of these other ones kind of quickly, but remember you can always rewind or watch again to figure out why I get what I'm getting. 9 times 4 is 36. M to the third times m squared is m to the fifth, because remember I'm adding the exponents. And then minus 9m cubed plus 4m squared minus 1. And actually, since there are no other terms, no other like terms, this is our final answer. So that was actually a one-step problem.